How many of you have spent time working on a program, working on a night, working on a talk, and you have two responses? One, they don't show up, or two, they show up and they do not want to be there and they do not care. Hands up.
Never. In my 18 years, never.
How do the bishops in communion with the Pope ensure that the full and living gospel will always be preserved in the church? What are ways in our own diocese, or what are things that are happening? There's two of them on your desk in front of you.
Providing us with documents so that we know what there is.
Amen. Amen. This right here is one. This one right here is one. You'll be getting this in just a minute. But they provide us with documents. They're supposed to, and some of them don't have the gift. They're supposed to be our chief catechists, our chief teachers, and our chief shepherd. Ken O'Gorick, who many of you have met up from OCE, I don't know if I've ever heard him say Archbishop Daniel B. Klein. He just says Archbishop, our chief catechist, and our chief shepherd. He constantly is trying to stress the point that he is our chief catechist. He is supposed to be teaching us. He's supposed to be guiding us and leading us. That's their role. They're ordained to do that. That is their mission, and to preserve that 2,000-year tradition. Chapter 4. How have you been able to apply your faith in family issues, community development, and political decisions? I think we've in some ways kind of covered that question. So that's my question number 2. What step might you take to make your faith more effective in our culture? That's not out culture. What steps might you take? I would say that you're taking one right now. You're taking one right now. Who are outstanding models of faith that inspire you to a deeper faith and practice? I'd actually like to hear this. Name some people from your own life that have inspired you to a deeper faith and practice of your faith. Who are some of those people?
For myself, I have to say two particular priests that I have encountered in my life.
Also could be the biggest hindrances of faith. I mean, just being honest.
I have a couple catechists that inspire me. They are just so amazing, and to do it, to teach on a voluntary basis every week and to be as genuine and as knowledgeable that they, where I get paid for it, a little bit, but do. And so they inspire me that they do this all, and the people who do service all on their own inspire me.
Go ahead.
I had two thoughts that came to mind. The first, just a young person on the journey. I just want to be authentic in my walk, so that whether it's a formal teaching role, retreat, or whatever, that when they see me in traffic or they see me at the grocery store, that there's an authenticity, that what I say in this setting is lived out in this way. So sometimes that's that inspires me to keep making the right choices. But then as an outstanding role model, I always just had a deep appreciation for Sister Mildred. She used to be the parish life coordinator at St. Agnes. She's retired now and over at Benedict, the Sisters of St. Benedict. But as I journeyed, we used to do all of our meetings at St. Agnes, and she's such a holy woman, but she just radiated a serenity. And granted, her church is in the woods and all that, but all heck could be breaking loose, and Sister Mildred was just this peaceful presence. And as I spent time going back and forth in that community over the years, the people who she brought in, they modeled that same thing. So like when they would greet you if they come to Mass, it was a sincere greeting. Their hospitality that parish has was such a reflection of Sister Mildred's hospitality and just her openness to allow people in to that community, to relationship with Christ. Like I said, I never saw her feathers ruffled or anything. She just, but excited and passionate and living a faith. Which that serenity about her was cool.
I agree with Marlene about the youth. I've been inspired by youth that I have encountered, and then I also, you have to live your faith. You have to live what you preach. As the old saying goes, practice what you preach. And because whether you know it or not, they're looking. No matter where you're at, they're looking. They could see you where you don't see them, and you have to be able to be practicing what you've preached to them, or I hate the word preach, but what you've taught or talked about. Live the life. But I think a lot of youth have also inspired me because they live it themselves.
I was just going to share, my mom joined church when she was a teenager, and I think probably because of that, well, I mean, because she's your mom, but it's because she's my mom, but anyway, it's always been, I've always seen my faith as a gift, even though I too am Catholic school, but the blessing is that it's a faith, and just to watch what a gift it has been in her life. It's still like it's that same gift that she received as a teenager. So mom is one, and also we were blessed that Mary Stump, mom of Father Tom, who was a priest at St. Joe Hill, but just again her whole life, she lived at the Hermitage, and I used to I would either stop by with friends if I was going through Indianapolis, or if we came to Indianapolis for a youth rally, I'd stop with the group so they could meet up with Mary, and we just always left like, man, I want to live at the Hermitage. It's like the perfect place. And anyway, it's just, and how many people ever want to live kind of in a retirement nursing home, but just a very faith-filled woman. And my third, actually, I like everyone's just blessed, but a young person in particular who, obviously her family used to bring her to church, but they've all quit going. So she comes with her grandma, and she's constantly inviting her family, and, they still haven't chosen to come, but she still invites, and just that, again, I think, my gosh, I'm blessed because my family goes, and that's something that's important to me, but where would I be if if my immediate family didn't, So I just think she's an outstanding model because she just keeps going and sharing.
For me, it's not one particular person, it's a whole community. But as I'm sitting there thinking about it, it's my own children that inspire me to keep going deeper in my faith so that I can set an example and to help show them how to live it.
My high school youth minister, who's been at it over 30 years now, St. Parish, that home for me in my mind of where my faith began, and he's just an awesome role model, and I call him every now and then, oh, why I'm doing this, can you help me? And Barry O'Donnell.
Thank you. That's the gift and fruit of the United States Catholic Catechism for Adults. And that's one of the things that Ken O'Gorick and I are, and in fact the whole Catholic Center beginning Lent is going to be having the opportunity to kind of, in some ways, do what we're doing in a certain sense, but we're going to be taking the United States Catholic Catechism for Adults and making it more accessible and an opportunity for Lenten reflection here at the Catholic Center. But this is something that you can do. This is something very easy for you to do with catechists, with youth leaders other youth ministers in your deanery, but to take this and have it be a tool for prayer, for reflection, and for evangelization.